Hey, YouTube, how is it going? I hope all is well. So this one is just for you guys. As you probably know, I am always up to something. So even when I'm not seemingly doing anything, I am doing something. I have neglected you guys lately, my actual, what I call my true subscribers. I can't thank you enough for, spending your time and obviously your hard-earned money just to watch this kind of stuff here. But in lieu of that, I have not forgotten about you, and it is time to give you something that no one else has gotten yet. So, obviously you can see we've been busy doing the giveaway build here. This is kind of what's coming up. A couple more parts have arrived. I have my little things here. I may go another size smaller. I don't know yet. I'm still kind of waiting to see. But something over here that you may not have noticed, or maybe you did, is this is the effects loop right here. So this one is provided by, well, it's not provided by, I purchased from, but he graciously offered it up to me as an option. This is the Elams 1894, or is it 1849? I can't remember. It's one of those two. It's ELAMS 1849, I think is what it actually is. His channel, he made a video, it's been about a year perhaps, showing his evolution to come up with this thing here. And I'm just going to give you a quick review of it. It has not been installed yet, but I can tell just from looking at it that this is the biz. So he sent it with the Mogami Flex wire. So it's like siliconized, lead wire. This stuff is excellent. I love that. He gave me silicone wire for the power leads. That's why it's all nice and floppy and stuff. I love the silicone wire. Another thing, he's got the real stuff on here. No joke stuff on here. This is the siliconized, I believe it's siliconized metal film or something like that, or ceramic. In either case, this is the real deal right here. This is what is supposed to be used in this position, and it's a big old fat real ohmite. And you may notice down in there those nice little orange or brownish colored resistors, all those little ones like those there, right? All those ones. So those are Dale Vichets. They look awfully familiar to these. So these are the 1 watt / half watt versions. These are the quarter watt versions / half watt versions. Now the reason that I say that is that under a certain voltage and under a certain temperature, they are rated for 1 watt. After they reach a certain voltage or temperature, then they derate to half a watt. So these are all at least 1/2 watt. That's why they call them half watts. But these are quarter watt versions here, or all a half watt. But he's using the real deal stuff on here. Those are Nishikons. Let me get that up in the shot there. Those are the Nishikons. Another thing that you may have noticed, this little guy down there, that little gold guy, that is a gold cap from Nishikon. This is using the real deal stuff. Those are TLO 72s. I'm super excited. I want to talk to him. He said he's not ready to really do much production on these. But if this thing goes as good as I think it is, which I know it's going to go great, I know that this thing is going to be the shiznit. I might talk to him and see if we can work something out. He says he's not too busy to really do full-on production of these things. I'll hit him up and see. I don't know how he feels about it. Obviously, we haven't really talked to each other one-on-one, but if this thing turns out to be what I think it is, I might hit him up to see if we can work something out to make these more available. Mainly because I'll probably want to start putting them in my amps exclusively. So this is a parallel effects loop though. I might see if there's a way that we can work them into designing one where it's switchable between parallel or as an actual insert or series. But this one here, these are the knobs I already had available. As you can tell, they're really similar to my cupcake knobs, but it has push-pull for each one. So this is in bypass, so you can bypass it if you want, and then this is normal polarity, inverted polarity. And then the only thing that I thought was a little bit of a bummer, and I'm not going to fault Elam for it, it's possibly that he just either didn't know or whoever put this thing together just got the wrong version of these. So these ones have what they call, so there's a standoff distance that you can get these things ordered with. This one looks to be like a 1/16 of an inch. Well, that means that it's about 1/8 of an inch. You can kind of see that the center of this is not at the center of that. So these just need to be up just a little bit higher. So I have already ordered a set of of output jacks for this that are what are called 3/16 inch standoff. So these ones here are 1/16 of an inch. These ones sit about 1/8 of an inch lower than the center line of these. So we'll replace those with ones that are 3/16 of an inch, which will hopefully get them on center. That's the plan. But I don't know for sure that it was Elam that put this together. That's actually not his name, but we're gonna call him Elam for, whatever. But so I'm super excited about that. So that came yesterday, and just when I got the mail, I was so excited. I was like, yes, it came. All right, hold on. It's time to open up a drink here. I'm kind of treating this like a live. I apologize. So we're going to keep all the mistakes and all that fun stuff in here for this one. But something else I've been very busy with in the downtime from doing this is working on, you can just see the top of it over there, but let's make it so you can see it. So hold on just a second while I get the view going here. So I want to go to preset 1. All right, so right there. You've seen it, you just don't know that you've seen it yet, but this thing has been in, a bunch of my videos, and that is basically the 50-watt train wreck style. It's been a bunch of different things over time, but let's make it so this is a little bit more viewable here. So I'm going to do something that's a little dangerous. Let's see here, transform. We want to go fit to screen. Blam! Here I am. All right, so there it is. That is the 50-watt. Hold on here. We can do better than this. We don't need the amp cam. There we go. So in either case, that is the 50-watt version that I've been working on. I'm also going to change back the view just a little bit here. So we're going to go back to preset 1. Oh, wait, that is preset 1. Hold on. Mistakes and all, I said. Okay, so while I've been waiting for parts for this thing, and while I've been doing this, while I've been doing that, just kind of off and on throughout the years, that guy there has been a multitude of different things. It started off life, interestingly enough, pretty much where it is right now. That was what its intention was. But the goal with this thing here was to try to figure out what it is that makes a train wreck tick. At least what I thought makes a train wreck tick. When I first built it, it was pretty much unusable. It had so much distortion. It was very, very thin. It was extremely unfun to play. And it got into instability real quick, just like they all say that they do, right? That's what everybody tries to do. Now, where I tried to break things up a little bit was I used a parallel triode in the preamp. Parallel triodes are a good way to add just a little bit more snot. So if you want to get just a little more gain out of the amp, that's one way to do it. It also has like a more of a thicker feel to it. Riley has been doing videos on that just recently, in fact, and he's starting to find his footing with them. They do take a little bit of like adjusting, like getting your mindset around them, because it is different, and they do not act like a normal triode does in a 12AX7. It does act a little bit different. So it's not just 1-to-1, and if you do this, it's exactly like a normal triode. It doesn't work that way. So you're having to trade off something at least to get something else out of it, more or less. But then it went down like multiple other paths. Like I didn't really like the way it was as a train wreck, so I tried this, I tried that, and the other. And at one point, it was closer to an AC50, or dare I say, like a Plexi. I kind of went down that road for a while. I tried it with what did I do? I set it up more or less just like a one parallel triode driving into a second parallel triode. So basically like a 2-gain stager. That actually sounded really good. That's the way it was for quite some time. During a lot of the time that I was talking with you guys, that's pretty much where it was at. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna go back to like the Plexi type thing. Did that for a minute. That's the last time I spoke about it. It was back kind of more to an AC50. And it did a cool thing. Everybody was happy with it, but I sent it off to my friend down the street that does all my flogging for me. And he said that it just didn't quite have as much gain as he'd hoped. He said he loved it. It said it sounded great. It's just that he still had to goose it with the pedal. to get it over the top. And I was just like, well, that makes sense. You know, it's plexi, so it doesn't really have all that much gain on tap unless you really crank it. And obviously, most people can't really flog the hell out of these things. So back to the drawing board. It was like time to come back around. And by this point in time, I was starting to understand more about what was going on. And I'm using my hands, and you can't see them, but I was starting to more or less understand what Ken Fisher was up to. So I was like, you know what? Let's take it back to where it was and kind of go down my original path. So I redid it. I still left with parallel triode in the front end, and I did, you know, the basic rigmarole, and it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. It was a hell of a lot of gain, but it still required some reeling in. Now, a large part of why it needed some reeling in was that I don't use conventional tone stacks. Now, if you know or are familiar with like the Trainwreck kind of express layout, or topology, it has one gain stage, and then after that gain stage, it is followed by a tone stack, and then after the tone stack, it goes into the rest of the circuit. One of the circuits has a cold clipper. The cold clipper is not doing what you think it does. It really doesn't break up until very, very late in the gain, like the gain setting. You pretty much have to gain the damn thing all the way up in order for the preamp side of things to really break up and do anything useful. So, needless to say, and my nose is starting to run, which is pissing me off. It's a beautiful day out here, so hold on a second while I do something kind of disgusting and rude, but I don't want to stop the video. I kind of want to keep rolling, so my apologies. I'm going to do this off camera here. Jesus. It's a beautiful day, and all the flowers are blooming and doing their thing, so my apologies. Anyway. So yeah, it has the tone stack in there. Well, the tone stack sucks a butt ton of gain out of it. That's why they were able to get away with it. And that's why the cold clipper stage really didn't break up until late in the game, where most of the distortion seemed to be created in the Trainwreck circuits is in the last two gain stages. All right. So the cold clipper, it stays pretty clean, pretty long, but that is the one that will start to distort sooner than the previous stage before it. And I guess it would be helpful to have the schematic up, but we're not going to deal with that. Like, this is more show and tell today. But and then the phase inverter. Now, the phase inverter is probably the thing that distorts the most. And that's the challenge of it. The way he designed it is that by the time you got it to where it was distorting the way you wanted it to, pretty much everything was going into distortion. That includes the output stage, the phase inverter, and like the other tubes that are in there. So it's pretty bright and thin sounding until you get it up a little bit, because he does have some of that kind of stuff going on to make it that way. But then once you kind of get where you want distortion wise, like it's at the volume you want it to be at. The reason that they're not very stable is that they weren't designed to be turned all the way up. Like if you goosed the gain all the way up on that thing, it's a non-master volume amp. Like it would be just out of control, just straight up out of control. And that's how mine was when I first built it. So when you start to dumb it down and realize, okay, I've got, at least twice as much gain coming out of my first gain stage as he did, and I've got this going on and I got that going on. I wanted to have a master volume. This one has a master volume, all that stuff. I had to start thinking about it a little bit differently on how he gain staged all this stuff and how to make it work. What I can tell you is it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a different angle here. And what I'm doing here is I'm running into, well, let's get the angle of the dangle first. So, blam. Okay, never mind that mess down there. That's just because. All right, so this guy here is going into that guy there. That is my Torpedo Captor X. I'm using the speaker monitor there to just monitor everything. It's basically going to allow me to hear more or less what you guys are hearing. Okay, and we're going to go through this guy, obviously. No. So, I have it off currently, but this is pretty much dimed. So you can see there's the presence. This is the master volume. It's almost all the way up. And then you've got your high cut, your volume, which is not quite all the way up. High cut and low cut. Now I redesigned my tone control a little bit. So the low cut is still basically a low cut. It's just done in a slightly different way than I used to do it. And the high cut is actually a boost / cut. Okay, so you can actually get more highs if you wind it up, and you can actually get, you can actually cut the highs like normal. So center of this pot for the high, if you will, the high is pretty much neutral. If you need more highs, you wind it up. If you need less, you turn it down. So right now it looks like it's cut back a little bit. It's only literally just cut back a little bit. The presence control, I redesigned the circuit a little bit, so it's a little more usable at any volume setting. And right now, even at these master volumes levels, it's pretty high up. So let's get this thing turned on. I'm going to turn the volume down on that. I'm going to start with this guy here. This is like a super heavy pick. I'm actually kind of starting to like these things a little bit. This is like one of those Gravity Sunrise versions or whatever. I don't know. I'm actually kind of liking it. It's a little different on the play, but it's got a neat sound. It's a little beefier and meatier, if you will. But I will actually sit down more or less in view. You won't see my face. And then what I'm going to do is mute my my actual microphone, so you won't hear any of the room stuff. And then I'll play the guitar. So anyway. What do you think? You like that? Are we doing good? Are we doing good? So let's I'm gonna change things around. I'm actually gonna leave this mic on for a little bit while I dink with some settings so I can kind of explain what I'm doing at the same time. But that's the master volume pretty much dimed. You want to hear what it sounds like, and it's actually it's a real show now. That was kind of gross, but I'm gonna dime it all the way up. Oh yeah, that's everything all the way up. Right? Makes sense? I do test my amps this way. This is why I like having this guy right back there. But this is probably going to be a little bit louder, so we'll see how it does. But I'm going to turn off my mic now, and let's just take a gander at what this sounds like. All right, I think you kind of get the idea. Now, obviously, that's not a practical position to play this thing. I would say that more or less you'd probably be playing with it kind of here. You can treat it like a normal amp where you don't have the master volume up all the way, or you can get somewhere in between, right? So I'm going to crank the master volume back a little bit, and we'll just kind of get an idea of more what the preamp kind of sounds like. It might be a little bit quieter on your end. So let's turn up the, I'm going to turn up the torpedo to kind of make up the difference in the volume here real quick. All right, so I'm going to mute my mic and we'll just listen to this now. So this is more preamp based distortion more so than anything. All right, so what I'm going to do here is just wind down the gain a little bit here. Obviously, it does other things. I'm sorry you can't see my face talking, but... So that's going to be obviously a little too loud, so let's crank down the volume a little bit. All right, so in either case, just a little bit less gain. I'm not going to change the bass and all those other settings. This is kind of the happy spot, it seems. More or less, presence right up the middle, highs right up the middle, and bass to taste. Bass to taste. These guys here, obviously, you can just play. You know, this is the master volume, and that's just the gain. But play with those how you want to play with those. So I'm just going to fiddle fart around with that a little bit. All right, so at this point here, I've got the master volume all the way up. Oh, sorry, wrong one. All the way up. And I'm down low enough where I'm into the clean area. Now that changes how much output obviously you have. So I need to change the gain range of the torpedo. So I'm going to put it into its low range. So it will get louder, but we can kind of get an idea of what this thing does at more normal volume levels. So I'm going to turn down that a little bit. Right about there. See here. Oh, no, wait. Still too much. My apologies. Still too much. Hold on, I'm working it out. All right, there we go. Alright, so what we've gone and done now has gone kind of the totally other direction. We kind of did it at half volume, so now I've just got the master volume. We're basically at bedroom levels right now. So I didn't change the setting for low range on the torpedoes. So this is kind of akin to what would be like bedroom level playing right here. So it's going to be all preamp based distortion, but you'll get the idea. Alright, I'm going to mute myself and here we go. That was a little embarrassing. I'm not a super shredder. I do make mistakes. Blank. Anyway, so I think you got the idea. So let's, I'm going to turn this off for now. It does the thing, right? That's all we really kind of need to know is it does the thing. Let me put this down real quick. So that's what I've been up to in my free time when I'm waiting for parts to come in, and I wanted to actually preset 2. Thank you. All right, my apologies. So please excuse my horrible playing and just my lack of overall direction, but I just wanted to give you guys something to kind of just show you what I was up to. So this is rude and raw and everything else in between. That is what I do in my free time. This thing is not presentable inside. The last time you guys saw it was kind of me just starting to get back in this direction here. At the end there, what I was trying to show you is that you can play all the different notes and you can hear all the different notes, even as saturated as it is. So you also kind of got to see it does clean up like a Trainwreck does. It will almost get you into that sailing feedback kind of thing. Most of it comes down to there's just not enough room volume for it to get there. Keep in mind, I'm playing at basically bedroom levels. Like everything that I'm monitoring and all that fun stuff is at bedroom levels. So this thing is going to be fun. It's going to be cool. And it's almost ready. I need to redo the turret board on it. So when I say I need to redo the turret board, I mean I need to take the amp apart, redo the layout of all the turrets and stuff like that, and then rebuild it. I'm debating whether or not I just want to build a whole new turret board and just take that one out and leave it as it is. Part of me doesn't want to though, because there's nothing wrong with the turret board. It's in good shape and all the parts, all the major parts like the caps and stuff are still good in it. It's just, you know, this one isn't going anywhere. This one's staying in my possession. So that one will end up just kind of, I'm working to make it into a production amp. So I don't just do clean amps. I can do mean as well. Now, a big part of my ethos in my designs is that I want it to go from clean to mean. It has to be able to do both. It has to have a beautiful sounding clean, and it also has to do a nice convincing mean. Now, my past builds, my past designs, like the one that you're used to, well, my Woody, like you're used to seeing, my 18 watt design and stuff like that, those ones were meant more to be single channel amps, obviously, and they are all output based distortion. So there's only phase inverter and only output tube distortion. There is no intermediate gain stages. So those ones obviously are not going to have the same kind of drive as having, you know, 3 gain stages or whatnot. So the giveaway amp is going to have one more gain stage than even this one does. So to give you an idea of where it's going to kind of go, you guys are the first to know. That is a good indicator right there of where that amp is going to kind of lean towards in terms of the sound. It'll obviously get a little bit creamier, and just a little bit more of everything. Hopefully I don't have to do quite as much R&D on the giveaway amp to get it tamed down and where we need to be with it, but we're going to find out. So you guys got to see it first. Just thank you so much for your time, your patience, and your support. There's more of this stuff to come. Just know I have not forgotten about you. I have been a busy boy, but as you can see. But just thank you guys so much. Until the next time, take care.